Decided to do um decided to do the live segment as Monday messages. Mm, phone acting up. I decided to do the lives as Monday messages. What you need to know for the week to prepare you, because with next level transformation talks, we're all about shifting, we're all about changing next level. Okay. And in doing so, a lot of times you have to do small changes. And so Monday messages provide you an opportunity to kind of have a smaller focus, do implement a smaller change for the week. The energy that I'm definitely getting, y'all, for this week, y'all got to focus on your ego. A lot of y'all have been in your ego in a way where it's kind of having you go backwards. You're feeling too big for your britches, in a sense, like you're getting too ahead of yourself, you're getting too arrogant, if we will. A lot of you guys have to focus this week on keeping that ego in check, because I'm also getting a lot of you guys think y'all too big for the program. And Heavenly Father was like, okay, y'all have to come down a notch a little bit. Granted, definitely be confident this is a season of harvest. And so a lot of you guys are seeing a lot of productivity. You're seeing a lot of return in investments. You're seeing a lot of things grow and develop that you planted the seeds in the spring or in the fall. Like you're seeing a lot of things come into fruition, and it's good, right? But it's also in a space where you're seeing things produce, you're seeing things grow, you're seeing things elevate, but yet you're in a space of now you think you're bigger than a program. And so it's like your ego got to be checked a bit. One thing when it comes to inner transformation, right? We all go through shifts, we all go through changes, we all go through inner knowing, self awareness, self reflection, right? We all go through these moments, these shifts, these changes. And the thing about it is we kind of get comfortable in one shift that we experience, whether it's the harvest season, whether it's fruitation season, whether it's our down season, right? To be fair, we get comfortable. And when we get comfortable, we get complacent. But then it also puts us in a space where we feel as if we're expert in this particular season or we're expert in this particular time. So the energy that I'm getting for this week is you got too comfortable. And getting too comfortable puts you in a space that you feel as if you're bigger than a program. It doesn't allow you to grow. It doesn't allow you to expand. It doesn't allow you to elevate or learn things differently or do things differently. And the thing, hey, what's up? And the thing with inner transformation is you have to be open to the shift. You have to be open to the change. And if you're so comfortable where whatever state that you're in or whatever phase that you're in, then you think that you're bigger than any elevation or any growth. You feel like you is the biggest and the baddest. And there's nothing wrong to have confidence, but it can limit you, right? So this week, for this Monday message, like I really encourage y'all to kind of redirect and focus a little bit of keeping that ego in check, right? Be open to different, be open to change, be open to learning. Okay. A lot of times when we get real comfortable, we feel like we know everything. We feel like we are too big to be taught. Okay. This may be you, this may not be you. I'm not going to speak for people, but I do know I was in a position myself where I was very confident and very comfortable in a particular industry of what I was building, and I felt like nobody can teach me anything. And that's when Heavenly Father had to humble me and had me be like, all right, you gotta get your ego in check because you're not bigger than a program, right? Just because you're at a good space, a good time, a good position does not mean I cannot humble you and take you back to where you started, right? So this week, a lot of y'all gotta find some time to check that ego this week. But also, if you don't check that ego, what I just said, y'all will be going backwards. You're going to be repeating some things that you probably felt like you already learned, but if you're in this energy of egotistical manner, then Heavenly Father is going to put you back and give you something that you can really learn and figure out. Because the thing about it is, when you are in an egotistical state, you position yourself to retract different tests and lessons because you didn't learn it, right? Every time you grow, every time you elevate, every time you evolve, every time you learn a lesson, it's supposed to provide a sense of humility within oneself. You're not supposed to get arrogant. You're not supposed to get cocky. You're not supposed to get full of yourself. And so I'm getting this energy. A lot of y'all are smelling yourself a little too heavy. I'm feeling it. A lot of y'all are smelling yourself too heavy in a way where you feel as if You can't be taught something, or you can't learn something different, or you can't adjust, or you can't shift, or you can't move, right? And I get it. Transformation is a lot. Transformation is a lot of us go through transformations way more than we desire to. Let's just be fair. I be over shifting. I'm tired of shifting. I'm tired of changing, right? But when I change, when I evolve, when I shift, it provides me an opportunity to learn something new about myself. And then gives me in a space to be like, oh, I really can do this, or I really can actually achieve this, or I really can dominate this in a way where it's bringing out a different aspect of me. A lot of times when y'all look at transformation, you look at it as it has to be this one drastic change. And no, it doesn't. This lifetime is extensive. It's not something that is just for a 30-day period, right? There's no expiration date on our lives in essence of learning, right? Of course, we will all pass at some time, right? But as far as learning, like you don't have this amount of time to just learn something different, right? Granted, if you keep yourself active enough, you can learn new things in your 70s and 80s if you're willing to. It's all about the willingness aspect in transformation. Change will happen inevitably, but a lot of times, if you're not in a state of willingness, then you don't absorb what you can actually learn from that shift or that change or that transformation, right? It's just like you were just forced to do something different due to circumstances or due to a life change. You was forced to do something different, but what is it there that you learned from doing something different is what I'm getting you to understand. A lot of times these shifts, transformation seasons, the shift seasons, it's supposed to teach us something. And if you're not learning something, then you're going to repeat everything that you're going through, whether it's good or bad. Okay. And then you wonder why it seems like I'm on the same hamster wheel that I've been on for 10, 15 years, or I seem like I keep doing the same. I'm ending up in the same that you ain't learned nothing. And that's because you're not in the willingness of being taught, right? I ain't gonna call out no names, but I had this family member who couldn't figure out of why they ended up in the same financial state all the time. They couldn't figure out why they always were in this like money literally left their pockets like water type situation. It's like they had a hole in their pocket, the old school saying, right? And they was like, I had good jobs, I had better jobs. I was doing so many side hustles. Was doing this, was doing that. I was, eliminating debt. But they had a hole in their pocket and they couldn't understand why. And I had to explain to them, it's not about you. The problem is not you making money. The problem is you understanding what your money is meant to be used for. Okay. So it's more so the literacy aspect of your finances is to understand the purpose of your finances. And if you don't understand that, it's going to seem like you got a hole in your pocket, right? It doesn't matter. It's not about the amount. It's about the way that you understand and comprehend the purpose of money. So again, this family member was literally in this cycle for years and couldn't really get above water. Even didn't matter of the type of job, had excellent jobs, had side hustles so the money was flowing, but it wasn't sticking, it wasn't staying, it wasn't growing either. And that's because there was a lesson that he refused to learn at that time. And so this week, for your Monday message, I want you to learn the shift. Okay. Learn what you need to actually kind of be open to be taught something different, right? A lot of us think we know so much. I've been there, right? But if you are still not satisfied in the current state of your life, then you have to be open to be taught something different, right? Be taught a new perspective, a new way of thinking, a new mindset, a new belief, a new value, right? Maybe you have to start shifting your personal values. Okay, to be fair, maybe you are not really dabbing into self-worth as you may think that you are. You may are putting yourself at a lower value, and then you're wondering why the shift is not happening or wondering why the change is not what it's like growing up in the US as a yeah. So it's like the shift, it's so different for everybody. Okay. And however you need to process, however you need to figure out the Monday messages that we are doing here at Next Level Transformation Talk is more focused on a small shift that you can create in this upcoming week, right? Just something small that it can be practical that you can implement, and it won't be something that is just strenuous where it's like you can't do it. No, it's something that is practical, right? Kind of pay attention and redirect your focus on what small change or what small lesson can I learn in this week to help me reach the goal that I'm trying to reach for the life that I desire for myself. That's what Monday Messages is for. And a lot of you guys have the strength to change. I'm getting a lot of you guys have the strength to change, but you don't like change. So you don't use that strength to change. A lot of y'all don't like change. And granted, a lot of us don't like change, right? Change is something that is very uncomfortable. It takes you out of your normalcy. And so if you don't like change, you're very hesitant and you procrastinate on doing any small shifts, any small alterations to your daily routine, to who you are, to what you're building, to who you're becoming. You're in refusal. So you're not willing to be taught a different perspective. You're not willing to understand a different level of thinking. You're not willing to understand a different level of believing. Okay. Because you're just comfortable, and when you're in this comfortable state, you can't question why you're on a hamster wheel. You can't. You have to call a spade a spade. If you're content with where you are, this message may not be for you. But this Monday message is definitely for those that are tired of being on the hamster wheel and are ready to do something different. You have to dabble into some self reflection and self awareness this week. That's the ultimate root of this, right? And once you dive into the root, then you can sprout a little shift, right? You can see something move and something shift and alter. But for some of y'all, I'm getting y'all think y'all too big for the program where you're not open to be taught, you're not open to learn, you're not open to understand, you're not open to explore, you're not open to actually expand either. Especially if you're in this egotistical mindset where can't nobody tell me how to do this. Listen, if that's the mindset you got, then keep it. You can go ahead and just go ahead and log off of this live. But if you're willing to do things differently, to see things differently, and the thing about Next Level Wellness Club is a wellness club that focuses on creating inner stability. A lot of you guys are dominating one area, but have a lot of chaos in other areas of your life. Put it in the comments. I would definitely love to understand. You could be doing amazing, pulling in some amazing money, financially, you're doing absolutely amazing, but you may be depressed. Okay. You may have mental instability. You may have emotional, chaotic feelings. Okay. Your spiritual foundation is imbalanced. So it's like what Next Level Transformation Talks is actually about. It leads you to Next Level Wellness Club, where if you truly are wanting to change and shift and do the inner transformation, then you can create the inner stability. Like it's possible to be stable within. I don't care what nobody says. It's very much possible. I have done it myself. I have done the work. It's hard work, yes, but it's very possible to create inner stability. You can have every aspect of your life to be in balance. It's very possible. Personally, professionally, and spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, financially, economically can all be aligned and all be balanced if you put forth the work into it. That's inner stability. And in order to create outward impact, you have to create some inner stability. You can't be a force to be reckoned with if you're not willing to create some stability within oneself. So this week, Monday message is for you to kind of focus on alignment ultimately. Like the shift needs to go from burnout to alignment because that's what I'm getting. A lot of you guys are running on fumes. The energy I'm feeling, a lot of you guys are running on fumes, and yet you are trying to figure out what more can you do. That's what you're telling yourself. What more can I do? And with inner stability, you have to know that you are doing everything that you are supposed to be doing in this moment. Okay. So that's the shift where we're going out from burnout to alignment, which causes you to ask yourself or do the reflective where you shift it from what more can I do to I am doing what I need to in this moment. And that is that. Okay. Shifting perspective, shifting the mindset, shifting the way that you view your current state will allow you to develop inner stability. A lot of you guys are so focused on the future, excuse me, but you're also focused on what you don't have and you're not in a state of gratitude, right? So some of you may need to focus on developing gratification this week. Okay, being thankfulness just for the present moment because a lot of y'all have to understand things could be way worse. I know they could be better. You want them to be better, but they could be way worse. Okay, you got to be honest with yourself. Like, if you see things of other people, and that's the bad thing about social media. I'm just feeling called to say this. We have so much time to look at everybody else's lives that we don't pay attention to our own as much as you think you do, right? Because if you did, you would just be thankful for currently have breath in life, right? You wouldn't be trying to get the next car or the next house or the next six-figure job or trying to reach all of these goals and stressing yourself and being burnout energy. Because if with inner stability, you understand what's for you is for you, right? But you also gain that awareness that if my inner stability is present and in alignment, then anything outer I can achieve and be an impact on. That's the way that you will shift the way that you think about things. Okay. Again, if you are wanting to be a member, if you're wanting to dive in, like if you're wanting to go past the awareness aspect, Next Level Wellness.club is here for you to explore. I could put it in the description. The link is going to be in the description box of this live video when I upload it. But again, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Have a beautiful, blessed week. I will be uploading a video this week. Next Level Transformation Talk. Until next time.